I work as a waitress in one of New York City's most exclusive restaurants. Most nights, I serve celebrities, executives, and people who spend more on a dinner than I make in a week. I stay polite, professional, and never ask for autographs or draw attention. 3 months ago, during a double shift, Adrian Keller walked in. If you don't recognize the name, he's a $4.2 billion tech entrepreneur, fully self-made, featured on every major Forbes list. He requested a private table and came in alone, which was unusual for someone with his public profile. I was assigned to serve him. I brought his water, took his order, and stayed in the background the way good servers do. Then I noticed a tattoo on his wrist, a small red rose with thorns shaped into an infinity symbol. My heart stopped. My mother has the exact same tattoo, same design, same spot, same wrist. I've asked her about it all my life. She never explains, only says, "It's from before you were born." So I did something I never do with customers. I asked a personal question. "Excuse me, sir. My mother has a tattoo identical to yours. Does it mean something?" Adrian Keller went completely still. He asked for my mother's name. When I told him, he dropped his wine glass. It shattered, and he stared at me as if I had brought someone back to life. Before we continue, have you ever learned something about your parents' past that changed how you saw them? Share it in the comments. And if you enjoy stories about lost love, second chances, and the past resurfacing, please subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Now let me tell you how a tattoo uncovered a story that had been waiting 25 years to be finished. I'll start with the hardest part. My mother is dying. Stage 4 breast cancer that has spread to her lymph nodes and liver. The doctors gave her a year, and that was 3 months ago. She's going through chemotherapy, radiation, and clinical trials. But the treatments cost more than we can afford. Even with insurance, the bills are overwhelming. My mother, Julia, works as a housekeeper. She cleans luxury homes in Manhattan and Brooklyn. She has done it for 24 years, my whole life. She never complains, never asks for anything, and works 6 or 7 days a week. But now she can't. She's too weak, too sick. So I work double shifts at Cipriani, breakfast, dinner, and sometimes lunch. On a good night, I bring home around $400 in tips. It's not enough, but it's all I can do. It was a Friday night in late October. Cipriani was full, every table taken, the usual Manhattan crowd. I was 8 hours into my shift, feet aching, smile still on. Just 3 more hours before I could go home. Josh, the floor manager, pulled me aside. "Lucia, table 12, VIP. He asked for privacy and wants our best server. That's you." "Who is it?" "Adrian Keller. Everyone knows the name. A German-born He's eating alone," I asked. "Yeah, private corner table. No special requests, just service." I grabbed a water pitcher and headed to table 12. Adrian sat with his back to the wall. Mid-40s maybe. Dark blonde hair going slightly gray. Well-dressed, but understated. Charcoal suit, no tie. He was reading something on his phone and looked sad. That was the first word that came to mind. "Good evening, sir. I'm Lucia. I'll be serving you tonight. Can I start you with a drink?" He looked up, eyes tired. "Red wine, whatever you recommend. The Bordeaux is excellent. That's fine." I poured his water, set the bread down. He barely noticed, staring out at the Manhattan skyline. Seeing wealthy people eat alone always made me wonder. You have everything, but you're spending Friday night alone in an expensive restaurant. What's the point? I brought the wine and took his order. Filet mignon, medium rare, with asparagus. Simple. Thank you, he said quietly. Of course. I'll bring it right out. I turned to leave, and that's when I saw it. His left sleeve had shifted, revealing the tattoo. A red rose with thorns forming an infinity symbol. My breath caught. I know that tattoo. I've watched it on my mother's left wrist every day, when she cooked, brushed my hair, hugged me, or reached across a table. A red rose, thorns looped like infinity. Faded now, the red duller, but still clear. I asked her about it when I was 7. Mama, what does that mean? It's from a long time ago, Toro. Before you were born. But what does it mean? That love can be beautiful, and it can hurt, and sometimes it lasts forever. Did you love someone? I love you. Someone else? She gave a sad smile. Once, a long time ago. Was it my dad? He's gone, that's all. Now go play. She never spoke about it again. Every time I asked, she changed the subject. Eventually I stopped asking, but I never stopped wondering. And now in this rest, a billionaire I had never seen before had the exact same tattoo. What were the odds? I froze, staring at his wrist. He noticed. Is something wrong? I'm sorry, I shouldn't say anything. It's not professional. But my mother has a tattoo just like yours. Same design, same wrist. Adrian went completely still. Wineglass paused halfway to his lips. What did you say? My mother has that same tattoo. She never tells me what it means, just that it's from before I was born. His voice came out strained. What is your mother's name? Julia. Julia Rossi. Why do you… The wineglass slipped from his hand and shattered, red wine spreading across the white cloth. Julia, he whispered. I grabbed napkins to clean the spill. I'm so sorry. I'll bring another glass. How old are you? He asked, ignoring the mess and staring at me like he was seeing a ghost. I'm 24, sir. Are you sure? Sir, are you okay? Where is she? Where is Julia? She's sick. Do you know my mother? He stood abruptly, took out his wallet, placed 5 $100 bills on the table. I have to go. Your food. Keep the money. I have to go. And he walked out, leaving me standing with $500, a broken glass, and no idea what had just happened. That night, at 2 a.m., I texted my mother. Mama, do you know someone named Adrian Keller? No reply. She was likely asleep. Her medication makes her rest often. I searched him online. Articles, interviews, Forbes profiles, photos. Always alone. Never a partner beside him. Tech's most eligible bachelor. One interview from 5 years earlier caught my attention. I was in love once, a long time ago. It didn't work out. I never found that again. I stared at the tattoo in a photo. The same rose, the same thorns. What happened between him and my mother? The next morning, I visited her, room 407 in the oncology wing. She was awake, sitting up, thin and bald from chemotherapy, an IV in her arm. Tesoro, you didn't need to come this early. I always come on Saturdays, Mama. We talked about small things, her treatment, the nurses, the hospital food. Then I said casually, Mama, do you know someone named Adrian Keller? She froze. Why do you say that name? He came into the restaurant last night. He has a tattoo exactly like yours. Her face went pale. Adrian was at your restaurant? You know him. He's famous, Lucia. People know him. Mama, who is he? She started crying. He found me. After all these years, he found me. Mama, what do you mean? I knew him as Adrian Keller, but he wasn't a billionaire then. We were in love 25 years ago, before you were born. What happened? I had to go back to Italy. My grandmother was dying. I planned to return in 6 months, but when I came back, he was gone. I searched everywhere. I thought he forgot me. I thought he moved on. And the tattoo? She touched her faded wrist. We got them together the week before I left. He said, even when we're apart, we'll have this proof that we existed, that what we had was real. Mama, I need to see him, Lucia. Please. I don't have much time. I need him to know I never forgot. I called the restaurant to ask if Adrian left any contact information. No, Josh said, but someone is here asking for you. Thomas Beck. He says he's Adrian's lawyer. I told them I was at the hospital. After a short pause, Josh said Thomas would be there in 30 minutes. Thomas arrived right on time. Gray suit, calm demeanor. Miss Rosie, I represent Mr. Keller. He asked me to find you and ask about your mother. Is he okay? He seemed shaken when he left. He's been carrying this for 25 years. Last night was the first time he felt hope. He asked for my mother's information, name, condition, prognosis. I told him everything. And she says they were in love? He asked. For years, she went to Italy. When she returned, he spent 5 years looking for her. Thomas said. He thought she stayed in Italy. They both believe the other gave up. Thomas closed his tablet. Adrian wants to see her. With your permission. She wants to see him too. When? Today. She doesn't have time to wait. Understood, he said. I'll bring him this afternoon. 3 hours later, there was a knock at room 407. I opened the door. Adrian was standing there in the same charcoal suit, looking older, more anxious. Is she? She's awake. She knows you're here. But, Adrian, she's very sick. She looks different. I don't care, he said quietly. I just need to see her. I stepped aside. He walked into the room. My mother looked at him, and suddenly her face brightened. For a moment, she looked young again. Adrian. Julia. He sat beside her and took her hand, his thumb brushing over the rose tattoo. They stared at each other silently. I stepped into the hallway. Then both began to cry. I heard soft voices, sometimes crying, sometimes silence, sometimes a fragile laugh. I checked my phone. I scrolled through social media without really absorbing anything, trying to give them privacy, trying not to listen, but I was desperate to know what was happening. Finally, after exactly 2 hours and 7 minutes, the door opened. Adrian stepped out. His face was pale, his eyes red and swollen. He looked like someone had told him the world was ending. Is she okay? I stood up quickly. My mother? She's fine. He stopped, looked at me, and something in his expression made my stomach sink. He was staring at me intensely, like he was seeing me for the first time. Adrian, what's wrong? Lucia, I need to talk to you right now. Can we go somewhere private? Sure. The cafeteria? Yes, that works. We walked there in complete silence, the kind of silence that was like your heartbeat feel loud. Something happened in that. Something major. We bought coffee neither of us touched and sat at a corner table under the flickering fluorescent light. Adrian kept staring at me. His hands trembled. You're scaring me, I said. What did my mother tell you? Lucia, his voice was rough. When is your birthday? What? Your birthday. When is it? March 15th. Why? What year? 2000. Adrian, what's going on? He closed his eyes, took a slow breath, and when he opened them again, tears were gathering. Your mother just told me something she has kept hidden for 24 years. My stomach twisted. What? When she went to Italy in 1999, she didn't know she was pregnant. She found out a month after arriving, in August. The room seemed to tilt. Pregnant with you. She was pregnant with you. I couldn't speak. couldn't breathe. She came back to New York in January 2000, 7 months pregnant. She went to my old apartment. I was gone. I'd moved in December. She looked for me for 2 weeks. She couldn't find me. And then, his voice cracked. March 15th, 2000. You were born at this hospital, and she was completely alone. Are you saying? I'm saying we think I'm your father. The cafeteria disappeared. Everything disappeared, except those words echoing in my head. We think I'm your father. No, I shook my head. No, my mother said my father was someone from Italy. She said that because she couldn't find me. She thought I'd moved on. She thought I'd forgotten her. But I was here, Lucia. I've been in New York for 24 years, searching for her, searching for both of you. I just didn't know you existed. You? You didn't know about me? I had no idea. If I had known, if I had found her when she returned, everything would have been different. I stood up abruptly. The chair screeched across the floor. I need to talk to my mother. Lucia, I need to hear this from her. Reverends. I walked slowly to room 407. My mother was sitting up, waiting. When she saw my face, her eyes filled with tears. He told you, she said quietly. I pulled a chair close and sat. Yeah, he told me. Are you angry? I thought about it. Was I angry? I wasn't sure. I was something. Hurt, confused, overwhelmed. I don't know what I am, I said. Just tell me everything. From the beginning, she did. She told me about meeting Adrian in 1999, falling in love. Then having to leave for Italy when Nonna had her stroke. I found out I was pregnant about a month after arriving, she said. I was 6 weeks along. Why didn't you tell him? I wanted to, but international calls were expensive. I tried writing letters. I don't know if he ever received them. Nonna was so sick. I kept thinking, I'll tell him when I'm back, in person. But when you returned, he was gone. I was 7 months pregnant. I went to his apartment. The landlord said he'd moved in December. No forwarding address. Phone disconnected. And you looked for him? For 2 weeks, I went everywhere. Asked everyone who knew him. No one knew where he went. And I was 7 months pregnant, Lucia. Huge, exhausted, alone. After 2 weeks, I gave up. I told myself if he wanted to find me, he would have. Maybe he moved on. I had to focus on you. She explained how she stayed with a friend, then moved to another neighborhood. I was quiet, absorbing everything. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I reached for her hand. I'm not angry at you, Mama. I'm just sad for all of us, for the years we lost. You're not angry? How can I be? You were 23, pregnant, alone, scared. You did the best you could. You gave me a good life. You worked so hard to make sure I had everything. And you didn't know. Neither of you knew. You were both looking. You just couldn't find each other. That's not your fault. That's just terrible timing. She started crying. I love you so much. I love you too, Mama. I left her room and went to the stairwell, not to cry, just to think. Adrian found me there 20 minutes later. Can I join you? He asked. Sure. He sat beside me. We were quiet. Your mother told you everything? He asked. Yeah, and I understand now how it happened, why it happened. It wasn't anyone's fault, just bad timing. I looked at him. But I'm 24 years old, and I just found out my entire origin story was wrong. The man I thought was some stranger from Italy is actually you, someone who's been in New York my whole life. That's a lot to take in. I know. Silence. Then I asked the question I needed to ask. Why did you move? In December 1999, right before she came back. What happened? Adrian leaned forward. I got a job offer. A startup. They needed a programmer. It paid more than construction. Real money. I took it immediately because I thought. His voice cracked. I thought if I saved enough, I could go to Italy, find Julia, bring her back, or stay there with her, whatever she wanted. So you moved closer to work? Yes. And I worked insane hours. 16, sometimes 18 hours a day to save as much as possible. I changed my phone number because the old one was a landline at the apartment I left. I bought a cell phone. Those were just becoming affordable. I gave the landlord my new number. He said he'd pass it on if anyone asked. He didn't. He never did. He was 89 years old. He probably forgot. Mom had told me the landlord claimed Adrian left no forwarding address. I left in early December. Started the new job December 15th. Your mother returned January 10th. She remembers the exact date. I missed her by 1 month. He let out a shaky breath. 1 month, Lucia. If I had waited just a little longer, if the landlord had remembered to pass along my number, you would have known. I would have been there for everything. The pregna, your whole life. You didn't know, I said softly. No, but I should have left better information. Tried harder to stay connected. Should have. He stopped. I've spent 25 years thinking about what I should have done. My mom spent 25 years doing the same. You were both trying your best. You just missed. By 1 month. By 1 month. We sat quietly. So, I guess you want to do a DNA test, I said. And that's fine. But Adrian, I already know. I think so too. But I need confirmation. For legal reasons, medical reasons, and because I need to be absolutely certain before I... He paused. Before you what? Before I let myself believe it. Before I let myself feel it. Because if I believe you're my daughter and the test says otherwise, I couldn't handle that. I understood. Okay, we'll do the test. 3 days later, Adrian called. The results are in. Can you meet me at the hospital? I want us all together. I'll be there in 30 minutes. When I arrived, Adrian stood outside my mother's room holding an envelope. His hands were steady, but his jaw was tense. Ready? He asked. As ready as I'll ever be. We went in together. My mother sat up straighter. Adrian opened the envelope, read the first page silently, then looked at me. 99.9% probability of paternity. His voice was steady, but his eyes were wet. Lucia, you're my daughter. Oh my God. My mother reached for me. We hugged through tears. I looked at Adrian, barely holding himself together. You can come too, I said. He hesitated, then joined us. The three of us held onto each other, crying. What happens now? I asked. Now I fix this, he said. As much as I can. I lost too many years. I won't lose the time we have left. Over the next week, everything moved quickly. My mother's oncologist, Dr. Daniela Hill, called me. Miss Rossi, I received a call from someone claiming to represent Adrian Keller. He wants to transfer your mother to a private facility, unlimited budget, access to experimental treatment. Is this legitimate? Yes, I said. He's an old friend. An old friend with $4 billion, she said with a smile. Is your mother comfortable with this? It's extremely generous. She's comfortable, and we need it. Then I'll arrange the transfer. There's a clinical trial at Sloan Kettering. Very promising immunotherapy, not covered by insurance. If Mr. Keller is willing to pay, he is. 2 days later, my mother was transferred to Memorial Sloan Kettering. Private room, private nurses, top specialists. Adrian paid for everything. He also paid off her medical debt. $140,000 from the last 3 months. Gone. He paid my rent for a year, told me to quit my restaurant job, and return to school. I had dropped out of NYU when my mother got sick. Go back, he said. Finish your degree. Your mother wants that. I can't accept all this. It's not too much, he said. It's 24 years overdue. In the following weeks, I watched them. Adrian visited every day, sometimes twice. He sat with her, talked with her, listened to her. They told each other everything they had missed. He told her about building his company, about feeling lonely, about never marrying, because no one ever felt right. She told him about raising me alone. We were in the same city for 25 years, she said, and never crossed paths until now. They both looked at me. Until Lucia, she said. Our daughter brought us back together. The immunotherapy worked, not a cure, but progress. After 3 months, Dr. Hill shared the news. The tumors are shrinking. Not gone, but smaller. We call this remission. Mom cried. Adrian cried. So did I. How long? Mom whispered. I can't promise anything, Dr. Hill said. But with treatment, years, not months. Years. She looked at Adrian. We have years. We have whatever time you give me, he said. 6 months after the first conversation at the hospital, Adrian proposed. Not in a restaurant. No big moment. Just in her hospital room on a quiet Tuesday. I should have asked 25 years ago, he said. I should have never let you get on that plane. But I was young and scared. I'm not scared now. Julia Rossi, will you marry me? She said yes. A month later, they had a small wedding. Just me, Thomas Beck, Dr. Hill, and a few nurses. She wore a simple white dress. He wore a suit. They promised forever. This time, they meant it. 2 years later, my mother is still alive. The cancer is still there, but stable. She goes to Sloan Kettering once a month. The rest of the time, she lives. She and Adrian bought a house in Connecticut, near the water. She always wanted to live by the ocean. They travel when she feels strong. Italy, Germany, places they left behind long ago. I finished my degree at NYU and now work at a publishing. Last week, I had dinner at their home. We sat on the porch watching the sunset. At one point, I noticed them holding hands. Their matching tattoos, 2 roses, 2 sets of thorns, 2 infinity symbols, were visible. Faded, but still clear. 27 years old. Do you regret it? I asked. The tattoo? Adrian said. No. It reminded me she was real, that what we had wasn't just a memory. I kept mine for the same reason, my mother said. I thought about changing it or removing it, but I couldn't. It was all I had left of him. And now? I asked. Now, Adrian said, it reminds us that love doesn't disappear. Even when you think it's gone, even when years pass, it waits. L'amore è bello ma fa male, my mother said softly, ed è per sempre. Love is beautiful, but it hurts, and it's forever. Forever, Adrian agreed. They didn't get a perfect story. My mother is still sick. The cancer will eventually win. But not today. Today, they're holding hands. Tattoos visible in the fading light. Today they have forever, however long forever is. Have you ever discovered something about your parents' past that changed everything? Or seen a story that proved time and distance can't erase real connection? Share your experiences in the comments below. If this story of lost love, second chances, and how one moment can change many lives touched you, please like the video and subscribe for more meaningful stories. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring story. Thanks for watching.